you're over 35, working a corporate job, maybe you're a manager, C-suite, and your belly fat refuses to move no matter how hard you try, it's not about your age or your job or your schedule, but it's about your mindset and who you believe yourself to be. Most busy men don't fail because they lack discipline. They fail because they're using mindsets that they used in their 20s, which are actively working against them now. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 mindsets that allow my clients to lose belly fat, build confidence, and reclaim their energy, become the man they want to be without extreme diets, hours and hours of cardio, or a bunch of other nonsense. My name's Noah. I coach men over 35 with demanding careers and family lives, and I help them consistently lose weight without doing keto, carnivore, Peloton bikes, personal trainers, anything like that. If you're busy, stressed, and sitting most of the day, fat loss becomes a strategy issue, not a motivation issue. Number 1, your identity and how you're talking to yourself is killing you. And this first one typically pisses a lot of people off. Now, with this point, I don't want to sound overly like woo-woo. I don't want to sound like, oh, if you believe in yourself. That kind of stuff obviously isn't the most productive. But what I do want you to definitely take away from this is that raw action solves all. And if you have that mindset in place, what I'm gonna say makes sense. The problem is you currently talk to yourself like you're the fat guy. You think of yourself as just this way. You say, oh yeah, I'm just heavier, or I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to eat better. I'm trying to exercise more, right? And you talk to yourself in this way, and you have this mindset of an overweight person. Maybe in the mirror, you talk to yourself and you call yourself a loser, which, how is that beneficial at all? How is that mindset gonna help you achieve anything by just telling yourself that you're not where you want to be? Another thing is you just excuse it in your mind and you say, oh yeah, my metabolism's higher. Oh, this is just how things are when we get older. And you just accept it as part of life. And I don't see how that's a beneficial mindset to have. I've seen it firsthand hold people back, because when you just accept it or you just reinforce it by talking to yourself in a way that makes you feel like the overweight guy, or maybe you're the bigger guy at work, that's not beneficial. Now, you may even have the identity of a good provider. You're a family man, you work hard at your career, and you're disciplined in these things, but your body doesn't match. And that's a real shame. So I'm gonna tell you exactly what you need to do to change this. The number 1 thing you're gonna do is you're going to create a new identity. You're gonna create a new person, and you're gonna become that person. The only way you can do that is by reinforcing it with actions, but the first step is to create that new person. In your mind, I want you to create the ultimate version of yourself, the fit, strong, capable, competent version of you. I want you to literally do that in your mind right now. Take a second and do that. Write down what they would do, write down how they would speak about themselves, how they would speak about certain situations. I want you to literally do that. Now, the next step is to reinforce this identity with new behaviors. Obviously, if you aren't doing anything and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm not fat anymore, but you don't do anything different, nothing's gonna change. So now you're gonna actively try to become this person and tap into this new identity. When there's a donut at work, sure, you can enjoy your donuts, you can eat donuts, I don't have a problem with that. But if you're tapping into this new identity of somebody who's fit and is a good role model for their family in terms of physical fitness, you'd maybe say, not today. Or maybe I already had something this week, I don't really need this. This isn't something that I overly indulge in. That's not what I do. Take, for example, people who are trying to quit smoking. They'll say, oh yeah, I'm trying to quit. Well, yeah, I'm trying to do this, trying to do that. Useless. That's a pointless way of speaking to yourself. What you need to say to others and to yourself to reinforce this identity is to say, I don't smoke. I don't eat foods like that. I don't live that way. I train every day. They have to be clear, cut, and on point with your new identity. So no more of this, I'm trying to do XYZ, because that leaves room for failure and that leaves room for judgment from others. You're trying to remove the judgment by saying, I'm trying. If you say, I don't do XYZ, then you won't do it. And there's the accountability from other people to hold you to what you're trying to do. If that's not there, then you're gonna be way less likely to actually do the actions that you are trying to do. Now, again, I don't wanna be overly woo-woo, right? I don't wanna be mystical about things. But I do want you to start to talk to yourself in the way that a fit person would. Like I said earlier, you need to almost self-delude yourself into thinking that you are this person. Obviously, you're not yet, but your body will catch up with your new identity. The only way you can actually see results in anything in life is to take action first, and then the results will catch up later. Have that identity first, have that mindset first, and the results will come later. That's the only way things work in life. You can't do it half-heartedly. You have to say things like, I'm a fit person. I'm a good role model for my family. I'm a good role model for my team. This is how I act and this is how I am. It is genuinely important that you do this. Neglecting this step, you're just setting yourself up for failure. I have done this personally. I've done it. Now, when I'm faced with, the choice of a regular soda or a diet soda, I always choose the diet soda. Why? Because I just do. That's what I do. I do that. I always choose the diet. I never choose a non-diet soda. It's a part of my identity. It's just not what I do. Now I train just because that's what I do. That's who I am. The second problem you have, the second poor mindset you have, and we'll go over the good mindset later, is to tell yourself, oh, I just need more discipline, or oh, I just need more motivation. Number one, let me just say this. You don't need more discipline because you're already disciplined at work and in probably other areas of your life. Your work is going well, you're successful on paper, so clearly that's not the issue. Second, as far as discipline goes, the strategies you've tried or the methods you've tried, there's a reason they didn't work. And I wanna make this very clear to everybody because I hear this all the time. Why would keto or intermittent fasting or cutting out carbs or alcohol, why would that work when it's already failed before? Oftentimes what I hear is, oh, I just need more discipline. I just wasn't disciplined enough. No, the reason it didn't work is because it's not sustainable for you long-term, or it just didn't fit into your life. It didn't work with your schedule. Doing the hours and hours of training per day, that's not very feasible for somebody who has a busy, hectic schedule and a demanding career. And another thing too is it's not something you wanted to do for the rest of your life. Why would you want to do this for the rest of your life? Because guess what's gonna happen once you get off keto? Guess what happens every single time somebody gets off XYZ fad diet? They gain the weight back. 95% of people gain all the weight back within 5 years. It's a crazy statistic, and that should tell you that 95%, what 95% of people are doing, who you see who lose weight, it is not sustainable long-term. So anybody who watches this video, I don't wanna hear, oh, I just needed more discipline. Your strategy sucked. I don't even do things that I can't do for life. I look at something and I'm like, is this sustainable and can I do it? If I can't, then I'm not even gonna try. Now, as you get healthier and as you get fitter, it gets easier to do certain things, right? Because, maybe training 6 times per week isn't sustainable for you right now, but perhaps that's something that will be more sustainable in the future if maybe things get a little bit easier for you at work, or maybe you just really learn to love training. And that's the best outcome, that you learn to love fitness. If you can learn to love fitness, that's gonna be very beneficial for you. And as for motivation, this is one of the dumbest things that I hear. Motivation goes away so quick. Motivation goes away so quick. And the people who realize that, they just go to discipline and they're like, oh yeah, well, I just need to be disciplined. Well, then what you're doing doesn't work. So it's neither discipline nor motivation, because it's easy to lose weight if you have the right system. It's actually super easy, but nobody actually does the right steps or has the right system that works for them. All of that motivation you felt when you were losing weight, that was really just momentum. And the momentum faded as soon as things got difficult, or it didn't work for your life, or there was a holiday where you overate and then you feel like you're back at ground zero and you just give it up. Another reason you felt a lot of motivation was because something very painful propelled you to action. Pain motivates, but it doesn't last forever. It goes away very quickly. So instead, the number one mindset you need to have, the number one takeaway here, is you need to tell yourself, I need a sustainable system that works for the rest of my life, and I don't need to rely on motivation or discipline to do it. Moving on to number 3 is saying, I know what to do. I can do it on my own. I don't need help. Let me put it to you this way. Mike Tyson, Ronaldo, Tom Brady, and many others all have coaches, and they're world class. They're better at their thing than we are at probably anything in our own lives. They're the very best. They're at the highest level and they still have coaches. Let me also ask you this. If you could do it on your own, why haven't you done it? Why haven't you lost the weight and kept it off? Don't tell me, oh, I have lost the weight. I have. Why is the weight back on then? Why are you gaining it back? Why is it slowly coming back on? Or why are you even watching this video if you know what to do? Now, let's say you do know actually what to do, which is fair. A lot of people do know what to do. Eat less, move more. It's pretty simple. But the problem is it likely doesn't fit into your schedule, number one, because you're busy, you're successful, you have a family life, right? You don't have time to do all of these crazy things that you're thinking about. Number two, you probably don't have the accountability to stick to it, right? You don't have somebody in your corner telling you, hey, keep going, or make this adjustment, or okay, this isn't working, let's try something else. Nobody in your outside life even knows you're trying to lose weight. That's not helpful. Another thing is knowledge without structure, and like I said, accountability is completely useless. It means nothing. There's a lot of things you could know, but without the accountability, structure, and even action, it doesn't really matter. Plus, plenty of guys are actually wrong about what it takes to actually lose weight and keep it off. I would argue most people actually don't know what to do. I had a guy who I was talking to who was so gung-ho on keto. He was so sure that this was the #1 way to lose weight. He was so sure, but he had tried it multiple times and it failed every single time. And I always pointed to that and I said, well, clearly it doesn't work because you haven't been able to keep it off. Oh, but I know, but I've lost it before. It was literally impossible to get through to this guy's head. I have no idea what he's doing now, but he hasn't lost the weight as far as I know. And so unless you've done it and you've lost the weight and you can keep it off permanently, how do you know that you know exactly what to do? Because most people can lose the weight. As I showed with my little story, most people can lose the weight. They just don't know how to keep it off permanently. And if your weight loss was truly successful, it would have stayed off. Instead, what you want to do is you need to have a student mindset. Your mindset has to be that of a student. You need to realize that it's okay to get help and it's actually good to get help in any area of life. If you're refusing to get help, it shows a lack of humility. It's also good to admit that you potentially don't know what to do because you don't know what you don't know. At the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know. So a student mindset is the only way you're gonna see success. And so I actually decided to include a bonus mindset in this. I wanted to put this out there because I thought this was actually so important, I couldn't leave it out. And that is saying, I'm too busy, or saying it can wait. Now I made a whole video on it being busy. Go ahead and check that out after this video or right now. It goes over literally every single reason why saying I'm too busy is a BS excuse. So if you think that you're too busy, go check that out so that you can destroy that mindset and actually start to make results and see progress. But I do want to, in this video, address saying it can wait. If you're the type of person who puts it off, even just in their mind, you put it off and you say, it can wait, it can wait, it can wait. I got to focus on this. Oh, I got to do my career. Oh, this is more important. Oh, I need to do work. Let me just say this. How you're living right now sucks. You aren't the man you know you're supposed to be. You have no energy, no confidence. Your shirt sizes aren't getting any smaller. Your family photos, you're not getting any thinner. You're getting more and more embarrassed every year. You're getting more embarrassed at the beach to take your shirt off. You aren't able to enjoy the things you want to enjoy. I mean, my question to you is, when will enough be enough? At what point will you go, okay, now's the time to take action? Because like I said earlier, pain is the only way that you'll take action. That's the only way. Most people don't really do anything until it really sucks. And listen, the green lights of life will never align. Things are never gonna be perfect. You're always gonna be busy at some point. So you can't push it off until you're not busy, because if you do that, well, you're just gonna get busy again. And then what? And you're gonna fail again. Maybe you started to have kids and the weight started to pile on, but now the kids are, they're growing up and you're still overweight. You're stuck in that same position. The kids aren't gonna go away anytime soon. So instead of kicking the can down the road like most men do, what you need to do is tell yourself this. Number one, that being busy is just an excuse. At the end of the day, it's just an excuse. If you don't believe me, go check out the video, but it is every single time just an excuse. And the second thing you need to tell yourself is that you've lowered your standards. That's the only reason you're still stuck in this situation. If I were in your situation and I were overweight, again, I've lost 40 pounds 2 or 3 times, I would do every single thing in my power to get back in shape. Every single thing, because you have lowered your standards. My standards are up here. Your standards are down here. If I went to your level, we've got to change something fast, because your standards are so low that you've let yourself get to this point. Have you ever heard about the idea of a frog in boiling water? If you put a frog in a pot or over a stove and whatever, and you put it in regular room temperature water, and then you boil the water, you turn the temperature up, the frog will just sit there. The frog won't move. The frog won't get out. It will boil itself alive because it's not willing to get out. You're at the boiling point right now. The water is boiling. the foam is overflowing and you're cooking yourself. Are you gonna let this happen? Are you gonna continue to let this go? Maybe you're not even at the boiling point yet. Maybe you're like, oh, well, you know, it's only 15 pounds. It's only 15 pounds. Okay, number one, you're still experiencing some pain because obviously you're watching this video, you wanna get it off. But number two, it's only gonna get worse. I don't really hear of people who gain 15 pounds and don't slowly gain weight over the next few years. At least some. You're gonna gain some because obviously you've gotten to this point of discomfort. So I'm tired of people having lowered standards. You need to have higher standards for yourself and for your life. You need to raise the bar on what it actually means to be a good man, to be strong and capable and competent and responsible, and to be a good leader. You need to raise that standard for yourself. Otherwise, you're just gonna continue living the crap life you are living now. So those are the 3 plus 4 mindsets I want you to have if you're gonna finally lose weight. If you don't implement these, honestly, if you don't implement all 4, you'll never lose weight. You'll continue making excuses and you'll continue suffering for don't know how long, till it's painful enough that you want to get out. So if you found this video useful or helpful, definitely share it, definitely subscribe, give it a like if you really enjoyed it. Comment down below maybe one of these mindsets you've had. And if you want to get a one-on-one free consultation with me, genuinely free, I'm not trying to pitch you a product or anything, you can go into my Instagram, which will be in the description down below, and you can DM me the word mindset, and we can set up a call where I can help you out and hopefully help you see some real results.